Hi there, welcome back to our Compact First online video classes. Well, if you remember, a couple of classes ago, we were talking about fame and the media. You remember? And we looked at some different vocabulary like broadcasting and circulation for the numbers of newspapers that are sold. Today we're going to continue the idea of fame, and we're going to read about 4 famous people. Okay? But before we do, here are some questions for you just to think about. Who are currently the biggest celebrities in Spain? Well, obviously, at the moment we're in a strange time, so I suppose a lot of politicians are certainly in the public eye. Okay, but who are the biggest celebrities, shall we say? What's your opinion of these celebrities? Are there any that you admire? Are there others which you don't have such a good opinion of? These people are famous. What do you think the advantages and disadvantages are of being famous? What about the advantages? Yeah, I agree. Probably the material advantages, the things that you get from being rich. Maybe the fact that you can access and go to the best restaurants and access events and so on. That must really be very exciting. And the disadvantages, I suppose it's the big one, is really the fact that you lose a bit of your freedom. You have the extra freedom of having the wealth, the money to do things, but you can't go out on the street maybe without people coming up to you. Would you like to be a celebrity? No, me neither. I wouldn't mind working maybe in the arts, and I would be very happy to have a bit more money, but no, I don't think I would like to be recognised wherever I went. Okay, well, as I said, we're going to read about 4 people who are famous, who have become famous. Okay, this is an exam task that they do in the B2 Cambridge First task, okay? And it's a good exercise as well for all of us to learn vocabulary and to learn structures. So let's together look at the exam instructions and have a look at the exam task. So we need to turn to page 74 and 75. Okay, let's read the instructions here. Okay, and answer these questions. What is the topic? How many people are they? I've already told you. And who are they? Okay. Perhaps you can quickly read the first sentence in each part. Okay, so read and pause the video and quickly, 30 seconds, look at the exam task and the 4 texts. Just 30 seconds. Okay, you're back. So, what is the topic? Yeah, as we've been talking, it's about becoming famous. Yeah. How many people are there? That's right, 4. In this part of the exam, there are always 4 texts, or a text divided into 4 sections. Okay, who are the people? Yes, the first one is Jake Mackenzie, who, that's right, he's a sailor who became famous when he got lost. Next one is a soap actor, Rachita Patel. Remember soap opera? A soap opera is one of these series that you see that is every week repeats and repeats and repeats, and you see the same. It's like the same people in different situations as their life develops. A soap actor. This third one, yes, is an ice skater, Elka Kaminsky. And finally, we've got a singer, Marcus Cavallo. Alright, so, remember, before we do the task, we're going to look at some vocabulary that is in these texts. So we're going to change the order of the exercise here. I'm going to ask you to do part 6. Ooh, I'm worrying there. 6 on page 75. Okay, this is a vocabulary exercise. Okay, this is like fishing. Okay, you've got definitions of words. You need to read through the section. For example, number 1 is in section A. Find the word that matches the definition. Okay, so pause the video and then we'll check the answers. Okay, pause the video. Good. Alright, so here's my homemade whiteboard. Not very good, but it's as good as I could do. So, the first one. Somebody invited to appear on a TV programme is a guest. Yes, listen to repeat. Guest. Good. A person whose job is to deal with business is... Did you get that? Yes, an agent. An agent. Legal permission to make a film of a book. Well, what we're talking about here is rights, yes, and in this case, film rights to his story or to her story or whatever. Being written about or, talked about. The expression is in. Whoops, there we go. I knew it would go. In the public eye. In the public eye. Okay. This one should have been no problem. This is in B. Devices used to record a voice, etc. Listen to the pronunciation. The microphone. My microphone. Next one is a phrasal verb. Okay, try to make people admire you in an annoying way. Yeah. Show off. Yeah, it's a phrasal verb to show off. Ooh, I hate it. He's always showing off about how much money he's got or so on. Show off. The next one, also a phrasal verb. Think someone is less important than you. You look down on them. 3 parts. Look down on them. Okay, that's number 7. Number 8, make people feel they want to do something and feel that they can do it. Very important, this. Inspire. Yeah, who inspires you? An expression that we often use, person who others admire and try to copy. Can be positive or negative. Okay? A role model. A role model. People often worry about footballers or musicians being bad role models or negative role models for teenagers. But sometimes they can be positive role models as well. Okay, information. This is a general term. Yeah, information about someone or something in the media is publicity. Okay. Now, publicity is not the little adverts between programs on television. Those are adverts. Okay, publicity is more generic. Right to do things without other people hearing is, and again, pronunciation alert, privacy. Privacy. And finally, becoming well known by doing something special is making a name for themselves. Making a name for themselves or for yourself. Okay. So there we go. Some good expressions for talking about people in the media and fame. So, what do we do in this task? Well, as it says, there are 10 questions and we have to match or find which person, A, B, C or D, this is referring to. Okay? Different tactics for doing it. Well, some people like to, it's always a good idea to read quickly the main text, and then some people like to just look at the first one and go through and try and find the answer. Then number 2. That's a tactic, okay? Another alternative is first to look at the questions, and I think that I recommend this. First to look at the questions, underline key words. So, for example, in number 1, sometimes finds celebrity expensive, being celebrity expensive, okay? Or number 2, regrets fame. Okay? Just underline those key words, those key ideas. Then I would recommend you go to A and you read it through a little bit slower and see if any of the 10 questions you can see. As you do, put your answer in pencil. Underline where you find the information. Remember, there will be a paraphrase. Okay? And then move to B. Are there any that jump at you and say, yes, that's B, that's number 6, that's number 8, and so on, and C and D. When you've finished, perhaps there's 2 or 3 questions you haven't got. Then you can return. Okay? So, why don't you pause the video before you start, underline key words in each of the questions so you know what you're looking for. Then, starting with A, read with more detail each section. Try and find the answers A, B, C or D for each of the questions. Okay, so we're going to pause there, about 5 minutes. Okay, so how was that? Yeah, okay, so I mean it can be difficult, but if you find the sections you have no problem. Okay, so number 1, what do you think? Yeah, number 1 is A, okay. Finds being celebrity expensive. 1A, he says something about such as giving, sorry, not survival tips. He says disadvantage, I have to leave extra tips, okay. It can be expensive, leave extra tips. Okay, number 2 is D, okay, regrets fame. Clearly number is D, just in general, but also specifically it says convinced should have remained unknown. 3, B, yeah, B, that's Rachita, okay, and talks about the press giving people a bad time. 4 is C, Elka. She said initially, okay, she was initially difficult to find it, okay. Number 5 is also C. Okay. Okay. In the end, she says she quite likes it and it's quite pleasant that she can help people. Number 6, D. He says at the bottom, I'm sure for the vast majority it would be tremendously exciting. Okay. 7 is also D. Okay, 7D. It's impossible to keep it. They'll always find out, he says. Now 8 is C. Accuses some celebrities thinking they're more important. She says they look down on people. Remember we had that expression, look down on people. 8C. 9 says that some celebrities are suspicious as others. Is 9B. She talks about how being famous, you're living in a world where nobody can be trusted, or people think that. Okay, 9B. And finally, 10 is what? Is C. Yes. Okay, she says, back then I now regret 1 or 2 of the comments I made. Okay, so there we have it. I hope you got most of those. If you didn't, you can always ask me and I'll give you an idea of where the answer is. Okay, so we're going to stop there. Would you like to be famous for any of these things? Would you like to be famous for being a singer, maybe? Or an ice skater, or some other sport? Maybe one of you would like to be a dancer, for example. Different things. Okay, or perhaps you have no desire. Why? Why not? Let me know. So, I'm going to give you some work to do, okay? If you look at part 5, last class we looked at reported speech, okay? And if you remember, you need to send me your answers to number 8 on page 73. Also, if we look at part 5, here are some things that are from the text, okay? The actual words, you can see it here, like, I never imagined it had happened that way. So it says, I never imagined it had happened that way. You see the actual words in the text. you need to report it. Jake said he'd never imagined. Okay? So, 8 sentences, write down how they would be expressed in reported speech in a Word document and send them to me. Okay? So thank you very much, and we'll see you for the next class on Wednesday. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.